Okay, so we look at Dark Souls 2, the Scholar of the First Sin, 21/9. Jesus, another Dark Souls game, another ton of deaths. Dark Souls 3 was my introduction to the series, and it will likely have been for the majority of people, as that's when it really hit its mainstream stride, and I absolutely adore that game. It's easily one of the hardest games I've ever played, yet the storytelling, environments, and gameplay simply are fantastically perfect. But of course, it didn't just reach that point without a history, so I always questioned how did Dark Souls 2 measure up to the third, and after playing a lot of the second game, I can say whilst this isn't as polished or graphically beautiful as the third game, it is still fantastic. Anyway, first, the 21/9 support. So there is no native ultra-wide support, the series really is horrendous at supporting us. However, thankfully, Flawless Widescreen has us covered. Simply download Flawless Widescreen, link in the description, and install the Dark Souls 2, the Scholar of the First Sin plugin. Then launch the game and go into the game's video settings and set it from full screen to windowed mode. Then tab back out to Flawless Widescreen and make sure everything is ticked, hit the borderless button and bang, the game will snap into a full screen beautiful image. Now before you do this, a word of warning. The mod does allow for a Hud Fix. This locks the HUD to 16:9 and stops it stretching to 21/9. However, this specific fix has the potential to cause a VAC ban on your account due to its injection method of achieving the results. So you have two options. Either don't take the Hud Fix and just use the ultra-wide fix alone and have the HUD stretch, or do what I did and just disable your internet connection and that way you can't be detected. That said, I did accidentally play for about an hour on an internet connection at one point, and I had no issues at all using the mod, so it's your call. It's unlikely you're going to be banned, but I don't want to be blamed if you do get banned. Once you've got the mod running, the gameplay will now correctly scale to 21/9 in all moments. In-game cutscenes are 21/9, however stupidly they have leftover black bars in the 16:9 top and bottom sections from the base game that makes these scenes look very bad, but it can't seem to be helped. At least cutscenes are damned rare in Dark Souls. The pre-rendered cutscene at the start of the game just locks with black bars all around. The main menu and character creation screens remain locked to 16:9 with black bars, and the in-game menus are all the same as at 16:9, but due to their inherent design, again, it's totally fine. Finally, loading screens are the same, just 16:9 with black bars. General PC support wise, wow, this game has some serious issues. Thankfully, most I was able to find a fix for. So the game is locked to 60 FPS, and sadly, there is no way to unlock this. Bloody annoying, I know. And when trying to get the game to work at 21/9, I ran into some weird FPS issues after a little bit. Suddenly I had this sort of wave effect in frame rate. It's hard to describe, but you should be able to see what I mean on screen. The camera wouldn't turn smoothly, but instead would sort of speed up and slow down over and over. Thankfully, after a restart of the game, this would go away, and it only happened twice, and I haven't run into it since, but yeah, it's possible it will happen to you, just keep an eye out. The biggest issue, of course, though, is the controller support. This is just a joke. Whoever designed this is an idiot. The right camera analog stick is useless. When you bring the stick to the very sides of its range, the speed jumps to 100%. So the camera is constantly jumping uncontrollably around the places as you attempt to just look around the world. And this can't be rectified with the camera speed settings in the options menu. Thankfully, ReWASD, or ReWASD, has it covered. The software is bloody brilliant. It's saved me a lot lately. And as always, if you want to see my full coverage of the software, then check out that video linked in the description. And you can go and change the sensitivity and dead zones using this software and put them to whatever you like. And I found that moving the third level slider all the way to the outside removed the ridiculous 100% speed problem. And by decreasing the dead zone slightly, I was able to achieve the best camera movement. It's not perfect, and I'm sure you could tweak it more, but use my setup on screen to get you started when playing. It should get you to a very playable point right away, and you can make your own tweaks after. You can then also change the sensitivity of the camera using the game's options now as well, and it will have a noticeable effect. So use the two options in tandem. Thank God for modding. A few other PC issues to note. I had an issue where the mouse cursor wouldn't go away from the center of the screen whilst playing, and it required a game restart to remove it, and that's damned annoying because the game frustratingly takes ages to get past the click start button splash screen, and then ages to load into your save game for the first time. Absolutely no reason for it to take this long, and it really makes it a chore. Also, if you want to increase your FOV for any reason, I know it can feel rather tight for your character at times as you just want to see the world around you, then there is a mod for that. I'll link to that also down in the description if you're interested. Another small point is a lot of menu assets are very low res. They just appear to be like 480p. It's just a little annoying. Anyway, gameplay wise, well, if you've ever played Dark Souls, then you know what you're in for. Enemies that kill very quickly, complex movesets, a wide variety of weapons, abilities, gorgeous landscapes, creepy stories. It's all here and I love it. The Dark Souls games are extremely similar in nearly all aspects, from things like the Shrine in Souls 3 and Medulla in Souls 2 having essentially the same role, to basic things like menu designs and environment designs. But this isn't a bad thing. The gameplay is so well built and the enemies so brilliant that you will embrace the similarities. Now there are, like it said, things about the second game that the third rectified. Movement, for example, is not as smooth. For one thing, there is a stupid 8-directional movement system in this. If you look closely, you'll see your character actually snaps to one of these directions at any moment. They can't do a perfect circle turn. It's not massive, but it is something you may notice. I did find this game so far, as I certainly have not nearly finished this yet, to be a little more open in route options. The third game usually had you following 1 or 2 routes at any time, but this had around 3 to 4. Anyway, all in all, I'm loving this. If you love the third game, then absolutely come and play this. If you don't like the third game, then I wouldn't recommend getting this. It isn't, in my opinion, as good as the third, and so wouldn't change your opinion on the series. But for those that did, absolutely check this out. Yes, the graphics are aging, but they are still decent, and the gameplay remains superb. So yeah, I'm going to give it a WAF score of 2. There are a lot of ultra-wide issues, sadly. I hope that gives you some information on the game runs at 21x9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21x9, head over to my channel, the WAF website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description and Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.